we're gonna look at list in that. Okay, so we have mostly two types of list in that. That is the fixed length list, and then we have the growable list. Okay, so for the fixed length list, we cannot change the list length at runtime, but for the growable one, we can always change what the list at runtime. But we're gonna look at the fixed length or list, then we might fuse in the growable length lists somewhere along the line. Okay, so to actually create a list in that, list is actually equivalent to arrays in other programming language. So basically we say arrays and lists are what actually what list in that. Okay, so let's say we have, let's start with a string, then we look at numbers or integers. Okay, so let's first start with a very simple example with a var, and then we say we have let's say we have a list. Yeah, we have a list of some strings. Okay, so let me do this, a list, and then we have a string. So let me put this in the square bracket. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna have one, let's say Benny here, and I'm gonna have another one, let's say Smith. Okay, let me add another one to this, let's say who, Peter. Okay, then I add another one to this, like this, and then I call it Ibrahim. Very good, excellent. Then I terminate this one. Okay, so this is a list I have here, and then this list is, this is just a variable. Let me name it maybe list list1. It's a variable so that you don't confuse it with the list, the keyword list in that. Okay, so here I want to print out the iteration of this list. So probably I say print what, or print out this list. Okay, so print out, we're gonna print out this. Okay, so this is basically the display of the list below. So this is just a test that will display at the top, and then this is where the magic actually happens, where the list will be displayed in iteration. So let's watch here. I call the variable that is list, so list1, and then I append it using the for each loop. Okay, we are very confident with this for each loop, very easy, for each. Okay, and then the for each is going to take a string and then for it to avoid. So we watch here the for each, and then what are we going to iterate? We're going to iterate item. Okay, and this item is basically like a parameter that receives the numbers, okay, from the list1. Okay, then here after the iteration, we're gonna have a print statement to help us print the strings out there. Okay, so here what we're gonna do is in here we will have the $sign, and then print these items inside the curly bracket. So this will be list, that is the name of the variable list. Then we append it to the index of all the what, the strings in the list, since we said this is just like an array. Okay, so index, so append index of the items here, of this item. Okay, so index of this item, that is 0 1 2 3 according to the number of strings we have there. Okay, and then we append this to what, these two items. Okay, so $sign, and then we have what, item. Good. Then we terminate this. Excellent. So for each, let's do one for each. Okay. For each, for each. All right. Okay. So let me see. For each, this, 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 that. Okay. So this for each, what are we actually gonna do here? Let me say, the expression cannot be named. Just a minute. Item, and then the item is appended to the item here. Okay, and then let's that one. Let me see what error it actually throws. So we say the function express cannot be named. Cannot be named for each. Let me see. Print. No. This should work. So this we need to have one bracket here. Okay, one bracket here like this, and then one here like this. Yes, index of method of is undefined for the type list. Oh, it should work. It should work. Let me double check so that I see that we are on the same part. Okay, so items, and then index of index of index of. Okay, that was supposed to be a capital. Yeah, okay, so index of. Okay, and then we run again. Perfect. Okay, so we actually got it right. So we say the display of the list below. So we have the index. So index 0 is actually assigned to Ben. So as you can see, here is 0 Ben. 1 is Smith. Here, the index. So I told you the list is basically equal to arrays in other programming language. Then 2 is Peter. Then 3 is Ibrahim, right? So we say display the display of the list below, that is the one here exactly. Okay, then we use this to iterate through the what, through the string, and then display with the index. So this index actually print here, and then this what, this item actually displays what, the strings on the screen. Perfect. Okay, so let's look at another example for numbers or integers. Okay, so for example, we can begin with the list keyword, and then the return type. The return type will be an int, that is integer. Okay, then here we can have a variable of numbers, and then assign it to somewhat set of numbers. Okay, so let me put this inside a square bracket. So for example, we have 1 2 3 4, probably 5. Okay, and then I terminate this. Okay, so for this one, we want to also print first that using the index of each number. Then after that, we use the for loop to actually iterate all the numbers on the screen. But to do that, we can simply do a print statement, and this print statement will actually what? Print statement will actually display only based on the index. If you want to print based on index, we can call the variable in here numbers, and then the index of 0. So we use the square. Index of 0 will be equal to 1. Okay, so let's see what displays on the screen for this one. Okay, so since I'm printing in the 0, we should see 1 exactly. So 1 shows. So if I change the index 2, 3 should show. Good, because this is 0 1 0 1 2. Okay, so if I go index 1, 2 should show. Okay, on the screen. Index here should be 2. Perfect. All right, so what if we want to actually iterate and then print out all the numbers in this list? Okay, what we have to do is to use the for each. Okay, but before that, let me start with the for each. For then we have our condition. Okay, so for int x or a, this is just a variable. I like using a, and then in, we use the in operator, and then in numbers. So in numbers, okay, oh, I spelled this wrongly. In numbers, do this, print variable a. Okay, so print variable a, very simple, just like this, print variable a. Okay, then I terminate it. Okay, so we say this for loop, actually what it does is for here, int means print out a variable with integers. Okay, in numbers. Okay, so all integers stored in this numbers should what, should loop and then display on the screen using the print a. Exactly. Okay, but I want this to be on the next line, so I use the next line, that is next line. So backslash 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 no backslash n. Okay, perfect. So this will, there will be some gap between this. Okay, perfect. So we see 1 2 3 4 5 actually printed on the screen. Yeah, so this is the variable type, and this is what, this is the number type. Oh no, this is the string type, and this is what, the int or the number type. Okay, but let's look here. Probably we want to also implement these ones in another way. Okay, so let me say I want to comment this one here. Okay, so I have this, oh no, this, and then 1 2 3 4. Okay, no, this. Okay, good. I paste it in. No. Oh shit, I got it. Let me just ignore this. Okay, good. So in here we're gonna look at another way of implementing the list. Okay, another way, and here we might be adding the growable list as well. Okay, so you see in the int we were using the list and then a return type of what, integer. So here we'll be implementing the return type of string also here with the list. Okay, so here we go, string, and then the variable is what, words. Okay, and words is assigned to a list of what, words we're gonna have in a square bracket. Okay, good. So for example, we say the cloud is 1, the cloud is 1, the sky is another 1, and then we're gonna have the tree is also another 1, the tree is also another 1, and then let's add probably the sun. Okay, the sun, let me bring a comma first, and then we go sum. Perfect. Then I terminate this. All right, so now we have our words line up perfectly. Now what we want to do is to simply print the words. How do we do it? Just use the print keyword, and then we print the variable. So I terminate this, and then we print the variable words. Okay, good. Okay, so perfect. All the string are on the screen. So this is the list, and list is serving as what? Arrays here. Okay, next one, let's look at using the field array. Yeah, this one will determine the number of print per a given number. Okay, so let's say we have another example, var, and this is vars, that is variable. Okay, and then it's assigned to a list of what? Integer. A list of integer, and then we append it to this keyword called field. Okay, and field. Good. And this field have two parameters. One is the number of time you want the number to iterate, and which number you want it to iterate that number of time. So the 5 is number of times this number should repeat itself. So if we print this one out, it's gonna repeat itself 1 1 1 1 1 up to 5. You see? Okay, so let me demonstrate that on the screen, and then let's see how it works. So this is using the field one, the field keyword in lists. Okay. Oh. Vars. Okay. Perfect. So like I was saying, let's see the result of using dot field keyword. Okay, so like I was saying, 1 2 3 4 5. So print this integer 5 times. That is the use of this field, right? So this is another way of what? Using the list. Okay, secondly, we're gonna have the what? The generated numbers. Okay, generated numbers, another keyword. It's almost the same, but here we're gonna call it the vars one. That is the variable, and here we're gonna use what? Generate. This is another keyword to generate set of numbers. Okay, so generate. Yeah, perfect, like this. And then the variable will be vars one. Okay, so here we need to actually generate. Let's say we want to generate list of 10 numbers. Okay, and this list of 10 numbers will make a particular calculation, and then it's gonna generate this type of numbers interval, that is generate n equal to n arrow function of n times n. Yeah, just a pattern at which we want to generate the numbers. Okay, good. So this n will be assigned to n times n. So we're gonna generate this, and this is gonna be n times n. Okay, so this is wrong. Yeah, like this. Perfect. Okay, let's see what happens with this another keyword of implementation. So as you can see, this is actually generating this 10 digits based on what? Based on this calculations here on the screen. Next, let's go to the next one. Another way of what? Implementing this list. Okay, so let's watch here. I copied and paste, and here is actually what? Vars 2. And for this one is a list of. Okay, so we have this one here, lists of. List what? Of. Okay, so list of what? List of numbers, and these numbers should return an integer type. So we bring the return type in here. Okay, list of integer numbers, and this needs to be also in here, the list of numbers. So we can say 2 4 6 8. Okay, so this is the number we want to generate on the screen. So, and then we will also append another number to this. After we generate this, we want to add, oh, this variable should be 3, and then here is 3. Okay, so for this, you let me run this first. Let's see how it works. Perfect. So we are generating 2 4 6 8. But what if we want to add another number as and when it's being generated? What will we do? We'll only use the variable that holds the list, and then use the add keyword, add, and then the number at which we want to add, or the value that is. So let's say 8 9 10. Okay, so we add 10 to this. Perfect. So here should print 10 in addition. Perfect. So that is how we use the add keyword in a list. Okay, so we're gonna actually look at the growable, okay, and how it can easily be implemented. So let's say we have another variable of what? Vals 4. Vals 4 is here, and for this vals 4, we're gonna use the growables. Okay, so for the growables, we still have to use the list and then the return type, or this is gonna be integer, so we use the int, and then we say when this is empty, we want you to add some list to the array. Okay, so we use what we call the growable keyword. Okay, growable should be equal to what? True. And this should display the length of what we want to grow, which is equal to 3. Okay, good. So this is one way of what? Implementing the list of what? Growables. Good. But let's run this and see, and we're gonna get error because we've not used the variable 4. How do we use it? We use it in a way that we have to append. We can append what? Indices to each of this what? This value. Okay, so we have two variables here, and each of them will have what? The index of these 3 numbers we want to display. Okay, so the first is obviously 0, we have the 1, and then we have the 2. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we want to assign these two predefined lists. So this will be 2, and this will be what? 3. Okay, perfect. Now we have, let me call, no, now let me print out the variable to display what we are doing here. Okay, just like this, then I terminate. Okay, so let's see how our growable also displays. So see, the growable is displaying 3 numbers out of the length of integer. Okay, perfect. Now the last one is using the unmodified keyword. the unmodified what keyword. So if we want to use the unmodified keyword, for example, similar like this, and we want to use the unmodified keyword, this is a variable 5, and then we have lists here will be unmodified. Modified means there should not be any form of changes inside our what our list. So unmodified, probably variable 3 here, okay, and then we print what we print variable 5 here. So these are just the ways of what using lists to manipulate your data, and also trying to add and do some changes in what in your code. Okay, um modifiable, this is unmodifiable. Okay, modifiable keyword. Excellent. Good. So let me print this, and then we see how that also displays. So unmodifiable simply means do not change the list at runtime. Display exactly what we feed you. Okay. And this is add. We added a value 10 to it, and this is it should grow in length using the growable at the runtime. And this is using a simple calculation to display a list of 10 integers, and then this is display the same number but at a repeated number of times, that is 5, and this one is display a list of string. So this is how we actually implement list in Dart, and then you can go ahead and then research for more of the advanced way of using the list. So if you have any question, you can leave it down below the comment box, and you also subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for our next video. Peace. I'm out.